With us here at eSchool News TV is the Executive Director of Cable in the Classroom, Helen Soulé, a longtime educator and administrator who has been overseeing the awards program for CIC and its recognition of leaders in educational technology this year. Can you tell us a little bit about the background of the awards and what you're hoping to accomplish with this particular celebration?
Sure. The awards were created 3 years ago to honor educators who are innovators, have vision, and have taken that vision and innovation and creativity to transform their schools or communities into something for the 21st century.
And the people who are selected for these awards, I believe we have 15 this year?
Yes, we do. We have 15. They are educators, policymakers, community leaders, administrators in schools. So we honor people in and out of school.
Cable in the Classroom is the education foundation of the industry, the cable industry. As the CIC, as it's called, looks out at that landscape that we call education in this country, what do you think the greatest needs are?
I think one of the greatest needs is for us to have educators who are willing to change so that the education for the 21st century makes us a really competitive country. I think we have to be sure that we utilize the technological tools that we have to prepare our students for life and work. And I think that takes some looking at our institutions and looking at how we can transform them into better learning institutions.
So CIC sees itself as something of a catalyst here, is that right?
Yes, we do. We do. Of course, our members are media companies and cable operators, and so how we use the technologies that we have available are very important, and we think that they are incredibly important tools for learning that are being underutilized in classrooms and homes and communities.
Why do you think they're underutilized? What's the problem there?
Well, I think there are problems in terms of training for the people who are in the leadership positions. I think the technologies are moving very fast, and people have problems keeping up, frankly, with how to use them in the classrooms or even in their homes. I think they're sometimes scared. There are, as with any new technologies, there are new challenges. So internet safety is very important. Keeping their kids safe online is very important. And so parents and teachers and schools often, they try to shut things down just to be sure everything's safe. And that often causes us to not be able to utilize all of the great things that technologies can help us do.
So who has to deliver the message, or what message needs to get out more?
Well, I think the message that we are trying to get out more is that, yes, internet safety is very important and is critical, as is digital ethics, but that we also have to teach our kids to be media literate, and we have to teach our teachers and our administrators to be smart about how they use media, because I liken it to the swimming pool. We all think swimming is a wonderful thing, and we like swimming pools, but they can be very dangerous. And so what we have to do is we have to be armed with the information that we need so that we don't drown in this sea of new things.
Are you suggesting perhaps that there's something of a backlash, if that's the right word, developing now because people are either scared or uninformed or both, and that the education of our kids is perhaps suffering because of that?
I think it is. I don't know that I would exactly call it a backlash, but I do think that there's a lot of fear there in schools and communities as to what people are going to be exposed to, and so they want to. Our first protection is to shut things down.
So how is Cable in the Classroom trying to address that?
Well, we are actually working on a big internet safety and media literacy initiative with the industry itself and other partners. That will be a very important initiative where we are partnering with people like the Public Library Association, the American Association of School Libraries, the PTA, and several other groups to really get the message out to be smart about media and with some materials to help train teachers and parents and administrators.
I'd like to return briefly to the awards ceremony. What is the general message there for your broader audience?
I think there are two messages. One is that there are some wonderful things going on in schools and communities to transform learning. These are some of the people who are doing that. Pay attention to them, replicate what they're doing. And the other message, I think, is that the cable industry, in supporting this program, is committed to education and to shining a light, if you will, on these kinds of excellent programs.
I believe I read that your own career in technology and education goes back a ways,
Yes, it
a
does.
little bit, at any rate, and that you've been involved in innovation for quite some time and integration of technology. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Sure. I have spent a very long time at the intersection of technology and really media and learning. When I was at the Mississippi Department of Ed, we created the first technology plan and began to implement technology in the schools about the time the E-rate was coming along. And what we have advocated for, and really still do advocate for, or I do personally, is that the technology is a tool. It has to be integrated just as it does in my work today. It is integrated in everything that I do, and it has to be that way in the classroom. It doesn't mean that when you're in the classroom or when you're learning that every time you learn you have to use some piece of technology. But it does mean that you need to think about that as an avenue for learning and use it as naturally as we would use pencil and paper.
Clearly, school systems have financial issues all the time, and technology can be expensive, and sometimes it interferes with what schools can do. How is the cable industry and how is your foundation attacking that question?
Well, the industry is providing a free cable connection, and some of them provide some internet access to schools for free. They also provide it as a business for schools in many cases, and they also provide commercial-free, copyright-cleared programming. I think what they are trying to do is to empower and support the people to make some of these things happen, rather than just handing them a check, if you will.
In Washington for eSchool News TV, I'm Bob Jacobson.